Just be out with us to Hamanasi Adventure and Dive Resort. In this video, we would like to share our thoughts on our experience here at Hamanasi.
Yes, and what a wonderful experience it was.
I've never stayed in any eco-conscious, eco-friendly resorts before, and I really wanted to experience. Hamanasi has a very unique philosophy of reuse, refuse,
recycle, and reduce.
4 R's
yes.
for you guys.
Tongue twister.
And actually, the fifth one is the regenerate. And and they are very proud of their processes and programs that they implement here at the resort. So let's start with the arrival and COVID procedures. Even before we checked in, we received an email with resort's policy of COVID, of wearing masks in general public places and try to social distance, and we actually had to sign electronically. Hamanasi takes COVID procedures very seriously. As soon as we arrived, we saw a pack of extra masks right at the front. They actually implemented a sink in the front entrance. They have sanitizing stations everywhere.
So upon arrival, as you're welcomed in, there's someone there waiting for you with lemongrass scented towels and also a refreshing drink to greet you when you get there.
And lemongrass actually comes from their garden too. And I really like the fact that we were greeted and there was an orientation where we were explained how Hamanasi operates, what they have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, what procedures, we need to make reservations, how the tips go, and they're trying to make it as convenient for you as possible. So for the tips, I don't like carrying cash around, so for the tips you can put it on the card. You can actually put a tip to a specific waiter or waitress, and you can exchange money from Belize to US dollars and vice versa, of course, if they have enough to exchange for the US dollars back. So you can actually charge your card and they will give you cash, or kind of like a cash advance, so it's very convenient. And during orientation also, they will also let you know where things are located, so this way you kind of get familiar with the lay of the land.
Also upon arrival, you get a bag with hand sanitizer, sanitizing wipes, and there are places obviously where you should and should not wear a mask, and there are clear signs to tell you when. As you can see, we're not wearing a mask now. That is because we're pretty much at poolside right now, and that is the great house you see behind us right now. So when you're out here, it's okay not to wear a mask, but the moment you walk into the building, you should be wearing a mask. Let's get into the details here at Hamanasi. If you walk the grounds, you will notice right away how detailed everything is. Crack of dawn, the grounds crew here, I want to give them some props because they are amazing. They groom the sand. They actually, as if it was grass, they groom the sand every single morning. They rake it. And the cool thing is, when you stay here a few days, you'll notice that every time you come out to the area where the beach is, it's groomed, but there are different patterns in the sand. So in one morning, it might just be straight lines in a row. The next morning, it could be curved. Every morning, they change the pattern in the sand as they're grooming it. And it's just small things like that. I've seen them sweep the actual stones that you walk on along the path. Literally just getting the sand off of it. Just the minor details here, it's impeccable here.
And as you walk in the grounds, you will see each rock placed perfectly next to each other. And it feels like, okay, who has an OCD here? Because everything is just so perfect. And the funny thing, when we were walking by the adventure center where they have the bicycles, the staff member passed by and he just corrected one bike that was a little bit sideways. So everything placed very precise here. It's It's so beautiful, and the details by the pool, all the towels are nicely rolled, perfectly rolled, and just placed right next to each other. They put accent flowers into different places, and it's just so beautiful here.
By the time you wake up for breakfast, even if you're an early riser, everything is already groomed, polished, and ready for you. Another really cool aspect that I like about it here is that all the staff members, their shirts have their names on it with a name tag. So even when you walk up to someone, you could actually address them by their name. Or sometimes, you know, you interact with someone and they were really awesome, but you're like, oh my gosh, what was their name again? And they might have introduced themselves and you forget, which happens all the time. But when you see this person again, you can actually walk up to them, start a conversation, take a glance down at their name tag and be like, oh yeah, that's right, that's their name. So it's a really cool small details that make a world of a difference, especially when you're engaging with these people on an everyday basis. And that might seem a little odd to some people, but here at Hamanasi, you really get to interact with a bunch of different people, whether it's the grounds crew or it's someone at the restaurant that you have to order your meals from, or someone at the front desk where you need to get certain accounts straightened out. But everyone has a name tag, and trust me, you'll interact with pretty much most people here, because everyone will walk by. Even grounds crew, you're here, you're sitting down, they'll walk by, they may be, you know, cleaning the pool or doing something, they'll say good morning or good afternoon, is there anything we can do for you? So you really interact with everyone here.
And speaking of service here is really top notch. All staff members are very proper. Nobody you see sluggish or talking to you with the slang or approaching you some type of casual way. Everyone just walks proper.
Very poised.
Approach you gently, making sure you're taken care of, and they speak very proper as well.
And some of you might be wondering, you come into Belize and you might wondering, is there a language barrier? As we mentioned before, if you watched our about Belize video, English is the primary language here, but of course Creole and Spanish comes next, but there is no language barrier. Everyone speaks proper English.
And we were also talking to a waitress, and she says it feels funny when locals come and they kind of expect her to speak Creole,
right?
And she does not feel comfortable speaking Creole because she's so used to speaking proper English here at Hamanasi.
Yes. Upon arriving into your room, you will notice a little glass jar on the table. Make sure you open that glass jar, because inside are these small little cube morsels of fudge, and fudge is amazing here in Belize if you never had it. And what fudge is basically like a caramel
candy.
Yeah, like a candy caramel. It's crumbly, it's not hard, but it's sweet. It is delicious.
It's pure sugar.
Yes, and when I opened that jar and I saw that, Bert agrees with me as well. It was just like, oh, yes.
Hallelujah.
And it was so good. There was about maybe 5 or 6 pieces inside the glass jar. I ate it instantly. It was gone. Irene only had one, and I forgot that she never had it, and I was supposed to have her taste it. But I was so like, oh my gosh, this is everything right now. I ate most of it, and I requested for them to bring another jar in, and they did. And the following room we went into, they made sure they gave me enough. And we requested it even like midday after we eat them all, and they still, by the time we got into the room, another jar was there. So that, for me, that was like epic.
And when we were doing the sustainability tour here on the property, I saw organic aloe vera growing in their garden, and I asked if I can have some aloe vera so I can do hair treatment with aloe vera, and they actually brought a plate, and I thought they would bring just a couple of leaves of aloe vera, but they actually brought me an entire plate of aloe vera, and they cut off all the spikes, and they actually split the leaves in half, so it will be much easier for me to use and apply it on my hair.
And by the way, aloe vera is also great for mosquito bites, because here in Belize we do have mosquitoes, and everywhere you go you probably will get bit. Obviously you use your mosquito repellent, but you still will get bit. But aloe vera is great for that. So that's just a little side tip for you guys.
And also for burns. If you do get burned,
Sunburns, yes.
it's aloe vera helps you soothe your skin really well.
Speaking about rooms, oh my gosh, their rooms are amazing.
If you haven't seen any rooms, we have created a video where we take you on a tour of 4 different room types here at Hamanasi.
So whether you're coming here as a couple or as a family, we'll show you the room that's right for you.
And if you haven't seen that video, we will leave the link in the description below.
Okay, let's talk about one of the most important things when you're vacationing and you're in your room. Well, for us at least, the number one thing is the bed, because we want to make sure we get a good night's sleep, so when we wake up early we can take the day on. Their mattresses are amazing. I slept, it was lights, yes, organic mattress, lights out for me. It was very comfortable sleep. Their sheets are very soft. The pillows are also very soft.
What I also like is their extra large, extra soft towels.
Yeah.
And extra large, extra soft robes.
Yeah.
I love robes, especially soft robes. So it's very comfortable. And what also we noticed about their rooms, again, as Devon mentioned, there are mosquitoes here in Belize, and especially combination of the jungle, and we stayed in the tree house. But I saw 0 bugs there.
0.
How is it even possible? I don't know. No ants, no crawlers,
nothing.
No any type of flies, nothing. It
The
was
room,
really
bug
amazing.
free. And I know a lot of you guys, when on our live we discussed this. We're like, would you stay in the jungle? And for most people, when you hear jungle, that's the first thing you think about. You know, creepy crawlers and flies and mosquitoes. None of that is inside your room. You don't see nothing. So some of the windows inside your unit have a screen, and then it has a louver. So technically you can open up the louvers, let the natural air in, but rest assured that no bugs will get in because of the screen. Not all the windows have this screen, as I mentioned, but they do take the opportunity to spray around the units, which we never saw, but we were told. So that could be one of the major reasons why there wasn't much mosquitoes, because while we've been here, we haven't really been bit by mosquito much, and we haven't been every day really having to apply a lot of spray on us while we're on the grounds, at least.
And they also use natural ingredients to treat their property to keep the bugs away. And if you do need to use a spray, they actually conveniently have a tray with different types of sunscreens, spray right in the front, and it's free to use for any guest.
Right, so if you're going out on your excursion and you're going into the thick of the jungle, in the morning before you take your excursion, spray or lotion up and you'll be good to go.
What I also really appreciated about our rooms here at Hamanasi is that they have clothing line in the bathroom. It's very convenient because you go to the pool, or maybe you go diving, swimming, and your swimming suit is wet and you don't have anywhere to hang it. So it's a nice touch to have a clothing line in the bathroom.
And speaking about swimming, one thing I want to note here is that the pool here at Hamanasi, in the center of their grounds, is actually a saltwater pool, which is really cool.
And it's beautifully shaped as well.
Yes.
And speaking about their reuse, refuse,
recycle and
reduce policy,
yes.
They actually really proud of it, and they really implement it everywhere. Just in our room, they have the jars for your shampoo. I never seen a shampoo in a jar. And even for your toothbrush holder, they use a wine bottle
that has been cut
and nicely fined.
And nicely refined, yes.
And they use those empty wine bottles, and they crush them, and they put them in the path, mix it with concrete and make the path out of it.
So as you're walking through the path here, you'll see like glitters, and that's because that's the actual glass inside the concrete. Really nice touch.
And I also saw bottles for decorations that they use, and they put fresh flowers in there as well.
You see it all around. There's really no way you can actually miss the way how they recycle stuff.
and they really stand by their policy. They refuse products with harsh chemicals.
Plastics.
They use their own organic ingredients to create their own cleaning supplies and things like that. So they really care.
Right.
And
even in their garden. In their garden, when we took the tour, it was amazing how the different stages of compost, the way they create the soil that grows other fruits and vegetables here. It has 10 steps, and it goes, you can literally see the steps from, banana peels, and, you eat your watermelon and the rind that you leave behind at breakfast or at lunch. They take all that and it goes into one bin. From there, it gets, after it starts decomposing, it goes into another bin. When it reaches another stage of decomposing, it goes to another bin. And there's 10 steps to that. And at the very end, it turns into fine soil. So obviously they mix it with other elements and it becomes fine soil, and it goes right back into the earth and used to replant their fruits and vegetables. It's amazing.
And we actually spoke to quite a lot of their staff members off the record, off the camera. And they actually do say that they implement those practices at home as well. A lot of them have farms and gardens of their own, and they use these practices at home as well.
Yeah, which would make sense, because if they're here working and they're implementing all this type of the 4 R's, then when they go back home, it's kind of automatic, the way of thinking and the process, that they would do that at home as well. So it's really serves both purposes.
And also because they plant so much trees all around, and they have the plant a tree program as well. I've seen so many animals and birds here that I haven't seen in Belize so far.
Yeah.
So it's very remarkable. We were just chilling in our jacuzzi on our porch in our tree house, and we saw so many different types of birds just flying around our tree house, minding their own business. It was really cool.
And bird watching is actually a thing here at this resort. There's binoculars, and you look up in the trees, especially around sunset time. That's when the birds are really active, or early in the morning, because you could take a guided tour and do bird watching. So if that's your thing, you're in the right place.
And it's really convenient. This resort is Adventure and Dive Resort, and they do packages, all-inclusive packages, and they are quite affordable. You can get a package for your 7-night stay, which includes multiple adventures that you can choose for free, and all your meals are included here for free. Or you can choose a romance package and have an evening dinner that we did yesterday. And if you haven't seen that video, we will also leave in the description below.
Yes, and speaking about the going to the reef and stuff, that's what makes this place really and truly special, guys. And it's hard to convey, but literally we're steps away from the beach, and right behind us is a jungle. You get both experiences in one. And a lot of times when people come to Belize, they come here, and once they land in the airport, they choose to go to the Keys, which are absolutely beautiful, or they come inland and they come to the jungle, or maybe they do both and they split their vacation time. But if you have limited time for vacation and you might only have 1 week to spare, or a little more than that, this is really prime for that, because you do get both experiences. Walking through here in all these trees in the jungle, and your room is hidden away and it's just surrounded by beautiful trees and wildlife. That's the jungle part of it. Then you're ready to go to the Keys. You're ready to be on the beach and just relax beachfront. You feel like where we're sitting right now, we feel like this is beachfront resort. We have our pools, and you can see the beach. We can go out there. There's hammocks, all that. And now, few steps back the other way, we're in the jungle. Really, truly a unique experience here.
Hamanasi is really a one-stop shop deal. They have their own excursions, they have their own boats, they are 5-star PADI certification. So if you want to get certified, or you want to just go diving every single day, or you want to go cave exploration or jungle expeditions, they all do it here in-house. It is great for your entire family, kids and adults, and couples if you want to have adventure and romance together.
Absolutely. One important thing that we would like to touch on is
supporting community. So Hamanasi makes incredible efforts to regenerate not only nature but the community as well and improve the community. So it is great to know that they actually donate. They have scholarships for kids to go to school, because here in Belize you actually have to pay for high school.
Right.
And they support local businesses. They source, even our soap was produced by a local supplier, and it smells amazing. I loved it.
The artwork you see throughout this entire property, amazing artwork, is done by local artists. But back to the support of the children, they donate books, pencils, book bags, all this stuff to support the kids in their education. I think that's absolutely wonderful.
And they also involve their guests in that as well. Their guests bring gifts and supplies for children as well, and they create this event. So if you haven't followed Hamanasi on Instagram, just check it out and you will see all different events that they put together to create more awareness.
A part of the way they do support the community is through their Plant a Tree program. And basically you can come here as a guest and you can plant your own tree, literally.
Regenerate the forest and help the community, because the part of your fee of planting a tree, which is just $50 by the way, and you get a personalized sign with your name burned on the wooden sign. It's really cool, handcrafted.
Yes.
And again, a portion of that will go to the community to support kids, to give them supplies and scholarships.
Yes, and just to touch on something you just said about the wood and how it's crafted here, everything you see here on this premises, all the chairs you sit in during your lunch, breakfast, dinner, the tables you eat around, the stands, the garbage bins that are here, all the furniture in your room, all that is made here in-house. They have a carpentry shop just behind us here, and they build everything.
And they're very passionate about
it. Yes. And again, a lot of times they were explaining to us that if the wood maybe has been weathered for being out here in the elements, instead of just throwing it away, they recycle it. They bring it back into the shop and they strip it back down, and because the salt in the air, and then they revarnish it and get it back into mint condition and then put it back out. So that's their effort. It's just here, it's just a full circle.
We thank Hamanasi for hosting us. We highly recommend to experience this eco-regenerative resort. And we thank you for watching.
And this has been a JBO approved destination.
And as usual, just be out with us.